Next, finding center of mass for three particles. So this is a problem. This is y-axis, this is x-axis. Three particles are given here, and the masses of this one. This is m, which is placed at origin, and 2m is placed at distance. Let us say this is A, and 3m is placed here, and this is a equilateral triangle. So masses are placed at three corners of equilateral triangle of side A. Now what is the center of mass of this system? We know that center of mass always lies nearer to the bigger masses. In this triangle, this is only mass m, this is the origin also, and this is 2m, 3m. So this side masses are more. Center of mass will not lie at the centroid, it will move towards somewhere here. So first of all, let me write the first mass is equal to m, the second mass is equal to 2m, and the third mass given is 3m. What are the coordinates of the first mass? The first mass is placed at origin. So here I am going to write x1, y1 is 0, 0, and this is x2, y2. What is this x2? So here this is x2 and y2. So along x-axis, y coordinate is always 0, but this is at the distance of a. So this will be a, 0. This will be a, 0. Now how to find the center of this position of the third particle? As it is an equilateral triangle, so in this equilateral triangle, we know that this will be the midpoint of this opposite side. So this distance is a by 2. If you know this as a by 2, we know this angle is 16. So I need this distance. This is a by 2. I need this height. So from this, I need a height h, that is y3 actually in this case, and x3 is equal to a by 3. So this is a by 2. So tan 60 is given by, because I need opposite side, I know the adjacent side. So tan 60 is equal to y3 by a by 2. So y3 is equal a by 2 into tan 60 root 3. So root 3 a by 2. So x3 comma y3 in this case is given by root 3 a by 2 comma, root 3 a by 2 is the y coordinate. So x coordinate is only a by 2. So this is a by 2 comma root 3 a by 2. So I got x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. Now the expression to find out the center of mass here is, as we have two coordinates, so we will get x coordinate center of mass, which is given by m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 by m1 plus m2 plus m3. So what is m1? m1 is equal to m. So now let me substitute this value. So this is m into, what is x1? 0. So please write the corresponding values only. Plus m2 is 2m, and x2 will be a, m3 is 3m, and x3 is equal to a by 2 by sum of the three masses is m plus 2m plus 3m. This will become 0. So this will be 2ma plus 3 by 2ma, 2ma plus 3 by 2ma by total mass of the system 3, 4, 5, 6, 6m. So this is 6m, m cancel. So this will be 2 2s are 4 plus 3, 7 by 2a by 6. So which is given by 7a by 12. This is the x coordinate of the system of this triangle lamina. Now what is YCM? So to find out the YCM, we have to use the same formula, m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus m3 y3 by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Now let me substitute the values here. M into y is 0 for the first one because it is at origin. Second one, 2m into y coordinate is 0 because it is along x-axis, and 3m into y coordinate of this one is root 3a by 2. So let me write root 3a by 2 by the total mass, we know this is 6m. So this will be 0, this will be 0. So this m and m get cancels, 3 1s and 3 2s. So this will become root 3a by 4. So what is the center of mass of this system? The center of mass of the system is given by x coordinate is 7a by 12 and the y coordinate is root 3 by 4a. So this is how you can find the center of mass of a system if you know the masses and position vectors are the coordinates of the system. Find center of mass of T section shown in the figure. So here one T section will be given. So this is the given T section. So this is a T-shaped plate. Let the width of this one is 2 centimeters, and this is also given as 2 centimeters, and this height here it is given as 6 centimeters, and as it is 2, total 8. So this will be 3. This is also 3 centimeters. So these are the values. Here only the sides, the dimensions of the T section is given. Now I need to find out the center of mass of this one. To find the center of mass of such particles, such bodies, we need to consider the origin somewhere in this diagram. So we can consider origin somewhere here, or we can consider origin at this point here. So as you like, but they may give, let us say this is the origin, that means this point is at origin. So this will be the x-axis and this will be the y-axis. So first we have to construct this coordinate system here. Now based on this one I am going to find out the center of mass of the system. To find out this one, first divide this T shape into two pieces. One rectangular plate here, one more rectangular plate here. So now let me take this part as 1, this part as 2. Now we know that XCOM, as it is in XY plane, you will get XCOM and YCOM, which is given by M1x1 plus M2x2 by M1 plus M2. Similarly, YCOM is given by M1y1 plus M2y2 by M1 plus M2. So now how to find the mass of this first plate? So here the masses are not given. In the previous problem masses are given, positions of the particles are given. But here this is not a particle, this is a body. So for this center of mass, for regular bodies, center of mass lies at the geometric center of them, of that structure. So if you join these diagonals, this will be the center of mass of this one. Similarly, join the diagonals here. So this is the center of mass of this system. Now we know that as it is 2, this must be equal to 1, because for irregular bodies we cannot find center of mass that much easily. But this is a regular rectangle. For rectangular, center of mass lies only at a point of intersection of the diagonals. So the x coordinate from here to here, as it is 3 plus 3 plus 2, total length of this one is 8 centimeters. So now this distance will be 4 centimeters along x axis and 1 centimeter along y axis. Now I am going to write the mass of this one is not given, but we can write density is equal to mass by volume, or mass is equal to density into volume. So in place of M1 I am writing density into volume of the first part into x1 plus density into volume of the second part. This is the volume of this plate. Second part into x2 by density into volume of first part, density into volume of second part. As it is made of the same material, because this is a single portion, so the density will be constant. We can cancel density here. The same expression can be written as volume of the first part into position vector, that is center of mass of the first part, volume of the second part into center of mass of the second part by sum of the volumes of these two. But once again we know that volume is equal to area into thickness. So what is the volume of this rectangular plate? That is area into thickness. Thickness is not given in this problem, but we can write this area 1 into thickness T into x1, where T is the thickness of the plate. plus this is A2 into T into x2 by A1T plus A2T. You can see here, you can take T common here. If you take T common, A1 x1 plus A2 x2 by, even if you take T common here, A1 plus A2 T get cancelled. So what is the center of mass for this system? That x coordinate is the center of mass, which is going to be what is area of the first one. So this is the, as it is the first part, area is 8 into 2, that is 16 cm square. So area 8 into 2, and what is the position of the center of mass for this one? As I am finding x coordinate, so this x is equal to 4, but from here to here this is 4. So let me take this as 4 x1. Now A2 is equal to area of this one. Area of this one is, we know this is 6 and length is equal to 2, height is equal to 6, 6 2s are 12. So area 6 into 2. So what is the position of the center of mass for this portion? So this is also, as it is a regular body, the center of mass will lie exactly at 4 centimeters only. So let me take 4 by sum of the two areas, that is 8 into 2 plus 6 into 2. So now you can write 8 2s are 16. 16 into 4 will be 64. This is 6 2s are 12. 12 4s 48 by this is 8 2s are 16 plus 12. So now 60, 100, 112 by 28. So now you can cancel this with the 4 7s, 4 2s are 8, 32 4 8, 7 1 7 4s. So this is 4. So x coordinate of the system, as all these measurements are given in centimeters, so this is also centimeters. So we got this x coordinate. Now how to get this y coordinate? Y coordinate, directly what I am going to write, y coordinate is a1 y1 plus a2 y2 by a1 plus a2, as it is if you write this mass into density into volume, once again volume is equal to area into thickness. If you write, you will get the same expression. So now let me substitute this one. Y coordinate center of mass is gone by area of this one is, you know, 8 2s are, the first one 16 into plus, and area of the second one 6 2s are 12 into by 16 plus 12. But what are these y coordinates for this one? You see, this is x axis, this is a negative x axis. So this is not 1, this is minus 1. So center of mass y coordinate for this part is minus 1, and now for this 6, half of it, that means this will be 3, but I need to find out the center of mass, that is position from this x axis. So from here to here 2 centimeter, and once again this 3. So the position of this one from x axis is 5 centimeters. Be careful while taking this one. This is also minus 5, as it is along negative y axis. So YCOM is given by minus 16 by this is 28. So this is minus 76 by 28. So now you can cancel 4 7s, 4 20s 80, 4 19s. So this is minus 19 by 7. So finally the center of mass of the T section is given by XCOM comma YCOM is given by, this is 4 centimeters comma, and this y coordinate is minus 19 by 7, or you can simplify this one also. 7 2s are 14, 50 will be there, 7 7s. So this will be around minus 2.7 centimeters. So this is the final expression or final answer for this problem. Characteristics of center of mass. So I have given 7 points here. The first point, already we discussed this. Algebraic sum of the moments of masses about center of mass is always constant. That is sigma MIRI is always equal to 0. That is MIRI means this MIRI, these indexes. So this is I is equal to 1. So up to n. So this is constant. If a system consists of n particles, so sigma is the sum of the product of mass and distance is always 0. So this you can write m1 r1 plus m2 r2 plus m3 r3 and so on, mn rn is 0. So let us say this is a system having m1, m2, m3, m4, m5, m6, m7, m8. So for this, let us say this is the center of mass. Now what is the distance of m1 from this center of mass? This is r1, r2, r3, r4, r7, r5, r6. Similarly, this is r8. If you find all these moments, that is m1, m into r, and if you add them, because as we know that these are the left side moments, these are the right side moments. Right side moments are always clockwise moments which should be taken as negative, and the left side moments are positive. So as a result, the sum of all these moments, mass is always 0. Now see the second point. Body will have only translatory motion when a force acts at center of mass. This also we discussed earlier. If you take a body here, if the mass of this body is m, let the center of mass of this body lies exactly as it is a regular body. This is the center of mass as it is the point of this one. Let us say this is a plate. Now, if you apply force somewhere here, we know that the body will change its position, and about this point it may tilt or rotate. So it is going to rotate here. So whenever a force is acting at some other point, body will may not have translator motion. But along the center of mass, if you apply force, always the body will move in a straight line motion. It will have straight line motion. It will not rotate. So this is called, already we discussed this as a translatory motion. Motion of a body, that is system of particles along a straight line, is called a translatory motion. So whenever if you apply force at center of mass, body will have translatory motion. If the force is acting somewhere else, the body may have both translatory or rotational. So depending on this one, the body may have translatory plus rotational motion or pure rotation motion, and the sum of these two, actually combination of rotational and this translatory, is also called rolling motion. Body may roll about this point of contact here. Now third one, the laws of motion are applicable only for point objects, but we can apply laws of motion for bodies also. That means bodies means system of particles for bigger bodies, only if the force is acting on center of mass. Now we know that we have this formula F is equal to ma. This formula was derived by Newton to apply only for a point sized masses. So where a is the acceleration of the particle, m is the mass of the particle, and F is the force acting on this particle. So this is a particle when a force F acts on this one. As the size of this body is much smaller here, so this always gets a linear motion. But if it is a bigger one, then if force is acting at this point, then body will not have translator motion, as we discussed here. So that's why here we can apply this laws of motion even for bodies only if the force is acting on center of mass. Now here, if the force is acting at the center of mass, then the body will have translator motion, as we discussed earlier. So please remember this point. Laws of motion cannot be applied for bodies if the force is acting somewhere else. If force is exactly acting at center of mass, then we can apply this laws of motion, that is first law, second law and third law of motion can be applied only if the force is acting at the center of mass. Now the fourth one, when no external force acts on a system, so there is no external force acting on the system, then the momentum is conserved. We studied this in the previous lesson, the law of conservation of linear momentum. So in that case, whenever there is an external force, the momentum of the body is always conserved. So what is this momentum? So momentum is denoted with the letter P, which is given by mass into velocity. When there is an external force, that is external force is 0, so we can say the momentum is conserved, that is mass is already conserved. So, velocity also conserves. So, this is the velocity of the center of mass of the body. Now, for example, if you take a bus is moving with some speed, let us say velocity 20 meters per second. What is this 20 meters per second? This is the velocity of center of mass of the bus somewhere here. Why? Because different particles, different parts of the body may have different velocities. As the passenger at rest, with respect to the reference frame inside the bus, all the passengers are at rest. But for the observer who is observing from outside, they are also moving with the same velocity. Here, each and every particle of the bus is traveling with the same velocity. That's why the total center of mass of this one is 20 meters per second. But if you take some dust particles which are traveling in different directions, so let us it is moving in this direction, it is moving in this direction, it is moving in this direction. So all this is a system of particles. In this different particles have different velocities. So what is the center of mass of this system? So then we will learn how to find the velocity of center of mass system later after this point. So here this 20 meter per second is the velocity of the system of this one. Here momentum is conserved, means velocity is also conserved. Mass is always conserved. So velocity is conserved here. So what is the meaning of this one? Now see this one. If you throw a bomb into air, when the bomb explodes, the explosion of the bomb is not due to the external force. The explosion of the bomb is due to the internal forces. So due to the internal force, let us say one part is flying in this path. So this is one part of this bomb. One more part is flying in this case. This is one more part, middle portion, and let us say one more portion is moving in this direction. So what is the center of mass of these three? So it depends upon the masses of this one. So let us say center of mass is here. So as it moves in this direction, as it moves in this direction, as it moves in this direction, the center of mass from this particle will be here. So that means this will move in the same trajectory of the parabola. So if the bomb has not exploded here, it would have traveled along this path. That means the center of mass of the system of the particles never changes. So this is the path along which the bomb is moving before explosion. If it is not exploded here, it would have traveled along this path without explosion. If it is exploded here, and this, let us, it is divided into three parts. So this is the first part, this is second part, and third part, moving with three different velocities and three different directions. So what is the center of mass of this part, this part, this part? Let us say this is the center of mass. As these masses are more, center of mass will lie somewhere here. So after some time, this part will go this here, this part will go here, and this part will go here. For this also, center of mass will lie somewhere here. So the center of mass will not change. The velocity of the center of mass will not change. This is how we can explain that fourth point. Whenever momentum is conserved, as a result, the path of the center of mass never changes. It will follow the same parabolic path, that is unexploded bomb path. Now, fifth one, the center of mass may lie within the body or outside the material of the body. Suppose if you take our earth, this is the earth and this is the moon, and we know that the mass of the earth is 6 into 10 power 24 kg. This is mass of earth. And if you take earth at origin, and let us say mass of the moon is given as in this this is 7.3 into 10 power 22 kg. This is the mass of the moon. Here the earth and mass are separated by a distance. Here it is given as 4 in 10 power 8. Earth and moon are separated by 4 into 10 power 22 meters. So in this problem, the earth and moon are separated by a distance of 4 into 10 power 8 meters. So where you are going to get the center of mass of this earth and moon system? Earth and moon is a system. Now you can have that formula as the coordinate of earth is 0. So you can use this x is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. If you find this value, the radius of earth is 6400 kilometers, and it is found that the center of mass of the system will lie somewhere here. That is, this is within the boundary, that means this is the boundary, this is the system. So it will be within the system only, and center of mass will lie somewhere here. So it is found that this value will be around 4800 kilometers. From the center of earth, this is 6400, but center of mass will lie somewhere here. So this is the center of mass of earth and moon system. So it is found that center of mass may lie within the body. So here it is lies within the body or outside the material of the body. Now if you take one bangle, so for a bangle, center of mass will lie at the center of the bangle. So this is within the body only, within the body, that is within the bangle. So it may lie within the bangle or within the body, or sometimes it may be outside this one. Now you can see some biscuits. So here this is the moon biscuit. So for this type of system, center of mass will lie somewhere here. That is, center of mass will not lie within the body, it will lie outside the body of this one. So this is the actual body. So center of mass will lie somewhere here. So this is the fifth point. Now you please check this answer. Why? Because I have given mass of earth, mass of moon here, and distance between these two. So m1 into x1 is 0, that is, as it is, earth is assumed at center of this origin or origin. So this is m1 into 0, m2 is this one, and r2 is this 2, this is x2 by m1 plus m2. If you substitute, you will get a nearer value, nearly 4800 kilometers. Now the sixth point, mass may or may not present at the center of mass. That is obvious, because see, for this bangle, this is the center of mass, their mass is not present. For this biscuit also, center of mass is here, so there is no mass. But if you see, for earth and moon system, center of mass lies within the earth only, but mass is present here. That's why mass may present or may not present at center of mass of system. And the last one, center of mass of system depends on masses of the particles and their relative positions. So what is this relative positions? Now here you can see, for a cricket ball, the center of mass will lie at the center, exactly at the geometric center, as it is a regular body. But if you consider any other bodies, let us say if you take one bottle gourd or pears, let me take one pears here. So this is pears. Here, where you can expect the center of mass? We know that center of mass always lies in the region where the mass of the body is more, mass of the particles are more. So these are all the particles of the pears. Here they are positioned like this, distributed throughout this body. So here we can see that if you divide into two pieces along this path, so this portion almost similar, but that means center of mass will lie along this line. But if you divide into exactly according to length, so let us from here to here, let us say length is equal to 15 centimeters. If you will draw a line at 7.5 centimeters, this is not the center of mass. Why? Because you can see here the mass of this portion is less, mass of this part is more. So center of mass will lie within this portion where the mass distribution is more. So it will be distributed, it will move downwards. So this is the center of mass. That means it also depends upon the relative positions of the particles, not only the mass of the particles, relative positions of the particles. So this is how we can explain this seventh point.